In this video I'm going to explain about factors and multiples. It's a really simple concept, but it is, I find, one that people quite often forget, so probably worth reminding you. Also, there's a video here about prime numbers, which is very much related to this, so probably worth watching that one as well. I have here, extensive collection of visual aids today, I have here 24 blobs, random colours. Colours are completely irrelevant. At the moment, the blobs are arranged randomly on the board. If I want to see the factors, it's really useful to arrange them into a rectangle. Any rectangle will do, so just give me a moment, I'll arrange these into a rectangle. There we go. Now, what we have there is 4 rows, and each row has in it 6 blobs. Now that tells us about 2 of the factors of 24, because we have 24 blobs altogether. That tells us that 4 goes into 24 exactly, and it does that 6 times. It also tells us that 6 goes into 24 exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 times. If it didn't work, you wouldn't get a rectangle. There'd be spare ones, there'd be gaps or whatever. Okay, we've got 4 and 6. That goes into 24. We could try 5 to see if that works. Okay, so we need to take these off. Those are 5. Can we make another row with the leftover ones? Well, no, we can't. There's a gap in the corner, so 5 is not a factor of 24. So the factors that we have discovered are 6 and 4, not 5. Okay, 4, 5, 6. We haven't tried 3, so let's see if 3 is a factor of 24. So let's have these 3 here. So let's put all the rest around that to see if we can make them into 3s. Looking hopeful. There we are, so clearly 3 is a factor of 24. It goes into it an exact number of times. We've made a perfect rectangle. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of 3. So 3 is a factor of 24 and it goes in 8 times. It also tells us, of course, that 8 is a factor of 24 and it goes in 3 times. So, more factors, 8, 3. Okay, so we tried 5, we tried 3, 4, 5, which didn't work, 6, we haven't tried 7, have we? So if we take these off, that's 7, but fairly obviously I've only got 3 here, so I'm not going to be able to make another row of 7. So 7 is not a factor of 24. It doesn't fit into it exactly. We've got 3 left over. Okay, we've done 8. We could try 9, but I'm thinking that you can probably tell that if I start taking some off here to make these 9, that's not going to work. So I've got 2 rows of 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And a few left over. Doesn't work. So a factor, then, is a number which fits into another number. We didn't try 2, did we? We could try 2, and you probably know that 2 does indeed go into 24 12 times. So 2 and 12 are the other 2 factors of 24. So a factor is a number that fits into a larger number exactly, with no remainder and no decimal part if you do the division. Okay. Multiples, which can be a little confusing. It's a very, very similar concept. So 24 is a multiple of all of these numbers, because they all fit into it. Okay, it's a multiple of 6 because 6 goes into it exactly. It appears in the 6 times table. It's a multiple of 4 it's a multiple of all those things. So these are the factors of the number for which I chose 24, and 24 is a multiple of all those numbers. Okay, looking at one or two others, I happen to have, I said the visual aids were impressive today. Wow, that's remarkable. I have here, not sure you can read, it's quite small, but I have here a table of all the numbers from 1 to 120. And we can just have a look at that and point out a few factors and multiples on that table. For instance, 5, we can easily see the 5 times table on this grid of numbers, because 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So the 5 times table is that column and that column. All these numbers down here and all these numbers down here are multiples of 5. And 5 is a factor of all of those numbers. These numbers, incidentally, are also all multiples of something else. They're multiples of 10. So those are numbers 10 goes into exactly. They are multiples of 10. That is your 10 times table. We could do a few others. 2 goes into all of those numbers down there. So if you work out your 2 times table on here, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So those, all of those going down that column, all of those, and all of those are multiples of 2. And 2 is a factor of all of those numbers. And you can do other things. If you get one of these tables, you can see patterns of multiples throughout the table. 3 goes 3, 6, 9, then you've got 12. So you've got 3, 12, 21 is multiples of 3. All these ones down here. So they go down in diagonal lines. And there are all sorts of interesting things you can find by getting a table like that and colouring it in. I've gone up to 120 because I wanted that, particularly for the next video that I'm about to do on prime numbers, which basically follows this one.